Bull City cornbread, cornbread fed. I'm Bull City cornbread, cornbread.
It's the North Cack, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slaw. I'm the safe, the cellar, and the vault. I'm the best, the effect, and the cause, I'm the law. It's the North Cack, baby, I'm a boss. Carolina barbecue sauce with the slaw. I'm the safe, the cellar, and the vault. I'm the best, the effect, and the cause, I'm the law. I'm the truth, man, you looking real false. Whenever I hit the booth, I come out to an applause. If I'm talking to my crew, you heard a southern drawl. Yo, I ain't talking to you, stop eavesdropping the...
Alright, so we are out here where I do field work here in St. Pete, Florida. We got the beautiful Bay Area behind me, and I want to talk about one of my favorite RPM discs, which is the RPM Kea. The Kea is a disc that I tell people who are new to RPM plastic that you're going to build your bag around this disc. This disc is versatile. It's going to save you so many strokes on the course in a variety of different ways. I carry 3 of them in my bag in different plastics and use them for so many different things, get out of jail free card, etc. So I'm going to go through the disc very, very quickly in the different plastics and stabilities, and then I'll show you a couple shots and different lines for them. So before we start, this is a Kea. That one was dyed by Tiffany Shaw. It's a glow. So it's Kea, and I will say, please go on YouTube and look up the Kea bird, which lives in New Zealand. It's a really cool, cheeky, little pesky, really smart, strong little bird. It's a ground-dwelling parrot that lives in New Zealand, and it's pretty freaking cool. I love watching the videos and learning about the Kea. So outside of disc golf, go look up the Kea, learn a little bit about it, and enjoy with that. So first I'll start off with the Strata Kea. This one's like beat-in Strata, which is the cheap baseline plastic of RPM. This one will have the straightest flight before fading. A Kea is going to fade. It's going to have stability. But in the Strata plastic, with some nicks taken out of it, it'll go straighter and then have a lighter fade. So that's the Strata. It's not in my bag right now, but definitely have a use for that. Next up we have the Magma Soft. So here's a Magma Soft Keas. This one is in my bag. It's a 170. This is a max weight. The Magma Soft plastic is very bendable. It's very flexible. It's gummy. You can, you're not going to get a skip with this. You throw this up near the basket, and it's wherever it lands, it's going to stay. That's why I love it. I also love it for headwind putts. In a couple of different tournaments I've played, some very windy ones. When I get circle's edge-ish and my Tui. If it's too windy for the Tui, I will pull out the Kea, and I am very confident this thing fights right through the wind, and it's great for headwind putting. So that's the Magma Soft. Next up in stability, going more stable, would be the Atomic. We have 2 Atomics here. And again, when you're looking at the Kea in the Atomic and the Cosmic plastic, which we'll get to, you're looking at an overstable approach disc. It is a 4-speed disc. It is very overstable. It's right between a putter and a mid. It has this nice little, I wouldn't even call it a groove, but it is a nice little kind of track for your thumb that makes that forehand shot very comfortable feeling. The Kea is kind of, in the different plastics and weights that you have it in, anywhere from a Baby Justice to a Harp or a Zone. It's a get out of jail free card. These 2 I can backhand. I will say I rarely, if ever, backhand a Kea on hyzer, because this disc is already going to hyzer. You just need to throw it flat and let it do what it needs to do. Let the disc do the work for you. So these are when I need not quite super beef, but still a good straight line with a fade and a bit of a skip. I'll go to my Atomics. And then lastly, the ones that I use the most, my Cosmic and my Glow Keas. These are get out of jail free cards. These are saving you strokes. These are, even if you have bad form and roll your wrist, you can rely on this thing to not turn over. You can rely on it to fight the headwind. You will get a nice skip towards the basket. Also, when you need to hit a tight tunnel shot, a tight gap, you can throw this flat or even on a slight ante hard through that tunnel and that gap that you're trying to hit, and watch it go straight and flatten out and then finish to the left. So for a 4-speed disc, to have that amount of stability, it's really, really great. So we're gonna do a couple lines, a couple shots with these different plastics. Let's do it. Wow, we got lucky. We have a headwind, so what better chance to show how this works than to throw these Keas straight into a headwind, which is exactly what they're for. Yeah. So I'm gonna start with the most overstable. This is what I use. This is my most commonly used Kea, and this is the most commonly used reason I use the Kea. Forehand approach shots, forehand, small drives into wind or no wind, but just forehand, stable, reliable Kea. Glow and Cosmic. It ain't gonna turn over. Look at that. That's my most beefy one. That's the most beefy one. We'll go down a level. We'll go down a level to the Atomics. The black one's max weight and the red one is not. I'm gonna flick the black one and I'm gonna show you a little bit of a backhand with the red one. Oh, I yanked it, but still you can see that might be off camera. I yanked it, it went dead straight and then faded at the end. Hooks up at the end. Hooks up at the end. Again, Magma Softs, max weight gray, 170 red. I flick this one mostly and I backhand this one mostly, so we'll do that again. Straight into a headwind. It just sits, the soft plastic just sits. And then I love driving with this light soft one. That one went really far. So I put that one, I threw that one, I maxed out with that one. I threw it, I really threw it. I threw it on Slight Annie, and it's into a headwind. Don't know if it caught it, but you can actually see it hook up at the end. Okay, one more round of throws, last round. Strata Kea. Even in the Strata, that is reliable. Magma Softs again. I'll throw them both backhand. These go far if you release them right. But it's still reliable. The heavier one is more beefy. See? That's beef. All right. Atomics. 2 Atomics. Try and flick this one right this time. Right into a headwind. Straight, fade. Boom. Backhand. Grip lock, headwind, doesn't matter. And then these are the beefy guys, so I'll still flick one of them, but I will backhand. This is the beefiest one. I'll backhand this one just so you can see into a headwind how good it still does. It's that every single time. I mean, who doesn't want a disc that you know what it's going to do every single time? Beef. All right, so there you have it. You have your Kea, a group of Kea is called a conspiracy. So that's pretty freaking cool. And what I hope that you saw there was consistency. You can be in wind, no wind. If that's not what you want in an overstable approach disc that you can use forehand, you can use off the tee, you can putt with it into a headwind, and you're always going to get the same flight. Puppy. Oh yeah, so you can have an off day. Your form could be off, your arm speed could be off, you could be tired, or you can have an on day. You can have a little bit extra juice that day. Regardless, you are going to get the same flight and the same consistency from your Kea. So tell your buddies, look up the Kea on YouTube, get your own conspiracy going on. Not Kea, but still pretty cool hanging out. There's the moon. And there's a bunch of birds out there on the sandbar too. Little cuties. Oh, it's feeding time. Peace.